I think people appreciated my approach, whether they agreed with me or not. As I said oftentimes during the campaign, as Ed Koch famously, 9 out of 12 things, vote for me. If you agree with me on 12 out of 12 things, go have your head examined. We're not going to agree on everything, and we shouldn't. That's why we have a constitutional republic. That's why we have the democracy that we have, which is to ensure that there is robust debate and discussion on these issues. And I will continue to do what I think is right for the district and the people that elected me to serve. And, when I agree with my party, I'll say it. When I disagree, I'll say it. And I think, frankly, our government would function a lot better if, that was the case across the board. Mm-hmm. Unfortunately, there's only a handful of districts that are actually competitive in a general election. And I think that's, in part why you've seen the partisanship, become so pronounced. But I'm proud of the record that I amassed in this Congress, being rated the fourth most bipartisan member, passing 10 bills, 5 of which were signed into law by President Biden. And I'm going to continue to do the job on behalf of this district.
You've got a little bit of business to wrap up before the end of the year. Can you tell us about that in the House?
No question. No question. We have a lot of things we want to get across the finish line. Myself, I have several bills that I'm looking to get finalized, including Senator Schumer finally passing the Anti-Semitism Awareness Act, and hopefully getting a Victims of Terror Compensation Fund bill passed to support both 9/11 families as well as the hostage families, the American hostages currently being held in Gaza. But we have obviously appropriations work, the NDAA to get done. So there's a lot to do between now and the end of the year. And the objective is to get a lot of this off the plate so that we can hit the ground running come January.
For the big debt limit discussions.
No question. But, again, that's something that, the debt limit is set to expire on January 6th, I believe, or 7th. So, that's something ultimately, obviously, we'd like to get done as well before the end of the year.
And looking ahead to next year, Congressman, what are some of your priorities?
Lifting the cap on salt. Obviously, the tax bill is set to expire, and it's going to be one of the big pieces of legislation that gets negotiated at the beginning of this upcoming Congress. So that's a key issue for me. Obviously, securing the border, increasing domestic production of energy from a New York standpoint, blocking congestion pricing, which is a scam to take taxpayer money from hardworking New Yorkers. And, obviously we have a lot of international crises that have to be dealt with. So as a member of the Foreign Affairs Committee, I'm going to spend a lot of time focused on that as well.
And what about China?
Look, China, Russia, and Iran are not our friends. They are our adversaries. And they've been engaged in an unholy alliance. China, obviously, is our greatest geopolitical foe, economically, militarily, and what they have done to try and undermine our economy here in the United States, currency devaluation, intellectual property theft, economic coercion. There's a lot that we need to do to combat China and what they have done, including the illicit oil trade with Iran, which is funding Hamas, Hezbollah, the Houthis, and other terror networks in the region. So these are real challenges, and I think it requires a strong foreign policy, which I know President Trump is ready to act on.